Welcome to this lesson on the PowerShell for loop. The for loop is one of the most fundamental looping constructs in PowerShell, designed specifically for counter-based iteration. This means you can execute a block of code a specific number of times while maintaining precise control over a counter variable. For loops are especially useful when you know exactly how many times you need to repeat an operation, or when you need to access array elements by their index position. Let's examine the basic syntax of a for loop in PowerShell. The structure begins with the keyword for, followed by parentheses containing three components separated by semicolons. First, we initialize a counter variable, typically $i equals 0. Second, we define the condition that keeps the loop running, such as $i less than 10. Third, we specify how to increment the counter, commonly using the increment operator ++. The loop body, enclosed in curly braces, contains the code to execute on each iteration. Every for loop consists of three essential components that work together. The initialization component sets the starting value of your counter variable before the loop begins. The condition component is a test that PowerShell evaluates before each iteration to determine whether to continue looping. As long as this condition returns true, the loop continues. The increment component updates the counter variable after each iteration completes. Understanding how these three parts interact is crucial for writing effective for loops that execute exactly the number of times you intend. Here's a practical example to demonstrate how for loops work. We initialize a variable $i to 1, set the condition to continue while $i is less than or equal to 5, and increment $i by 1 after each iteration. Inside the loop body, we use writeHost to display the text count. Followed by the current value of $i, this loop will execute 5 times, printing count, 1 count, 2 count, 3 count, 4 and count, 5. This pattern is extremely common when you need to perform an action a specific number of times. For loops are flexible enough to count in any direction. To count backwards, we simply reverse our logic. Initialize the counter to a higher value, such as 10. Use the greater than or equal comparison operator in the condition, checking if $i is greater than or equal to 1. Then, use the decrement operator ---- to decrease the counter by 1 after each iteration. This example prints a countdown from 10 down to 1, which is useful for scenarios like countdown timers or processing data in reverse order. You're not limited to incrementing by 1. The for loop allows custom step sizes using the += operator. In this example, we start at 0 and continue while $i is less than 20, but we increment by 2 using $i + = 2. This creates a loop that processes only even numbers, 0, 2, 4, 6, and so on up to 18. Custom step sizes are valuable when working with patterns, processing every nth element of a collection, or implementing mathematical sequences. For loops excel at iterating through arrays when you need index-based access. First, we create an array containing items A, B, C, and D, then we use a for loop starting at index 0, continuing while $i is less than the array's count property, and incrementing by 1. Inside the loop, we access each element using bracket notation with $items bracket $i bracket. This approach gives you both the element value and its position, which is essential when you need to modify array elements, compare adjacent items, or track the current position during iteration. Let's recap the key advantages of for loops. First, they provide precise control over iteration count, letting you specify exactly how many times code should execute. Second, you have direct access to the index value during iteration, which is crucial for array manipulation and position-aware operations. Third, for loops offer flexible initialization and increment options, allowing you to count by any value in any direction. Finally, they're ideal for array manipulation by index, enabling you to modify, compare, or process array elements based on their position. Master the for loop, and you'll have a powerful tool for controlling program flow in PowerShell.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.